Welcome to this collaborative project on an alternate Cold War where the Soviet Union won. Don't forget to check out Micah History's video next. As Bill Clinton becomes chairman, he is faced with reorganizing the American economy and dealing with the Navajo independence movement, which has created the first independent Native American state. However, no country wants an independent Native state since it could jeopardize their own sovereignty. The Navajo cause is taken up by anti-colonial people around the world, and the Navajo get support from across Latin America, Africa, and Asia. The American Federation invaded Navajo land in 1994, but the First Navajo War ended in American failure in 1996 as they were forced to withdraw. However, there is no precedent for communism, and the so-called communist CEOs take advantage of this. As public land becomes used for industry and collectively owned property, these CEOs end up running the lands, becoming de facto their owners. Not only do Americans now have to deal with this shared communal land, but they end up still working for the same corporate overlords that they supposedly overthrew. As the economy worsens, rationing begins, but it is mismanaged, which makes Clinton more unpopular. He also wants to rid his country of outdated superstition and cracks down hard on Christians, especially pastors. In 1999, one of these pastors, Pastor Jim Bob the Baptist, calls out Clinton for his affair with Monica Lewinsky on Jeffrey Epstein's island. Pastor Jim Bob is then thrown into jail without any charges and remains there. Hillary Clinton attends high-end galas in Paris while the average American is just trying to get by with the little money they have. Clinton, furious about being exposed, also comes after Jeffrey Epstein and sends him into jail, in the same cell as Jim Bob. 3 days later, they are found hung in their cell, and it is explained as a suicide. But few people buy this narrative. In the summer of 2000, a white police officer named George Floyd is called in to deal with a riot of African Americans downtown. He calls for support but gets none, and is surrounded by the gang who pin him down. He screams, "I can't breathe," but they don't let him go for 8 minutes. Bill Clinton, who was negotiating with New Africa to soften up some of their policies, does not want to provoke their government. He therefore does nothing against the perpetrators, who are found all innocent. This outrages the American population who found White Lives Matter. The movement soon gets out of control as it is directed more generally against Clinton and his government, and they chant, "We want the police." They march east to the Capitol, and Clinton flees at night with his wife and escapes on a plane. But the next morning, he realizes he had been sleeping with Monica instead of Hillary, and she now has no way to escape. Someone who does escape, though, is Donald Trump, and he starts having rallies where he chants WLM and MAGA. This makes him very popular with the average American. Making the most of her situation, Hillary decides it's about time that, in the 21st century, we get a female leader. Hillary runs for chairman alongside her subordinate Joe Biden, who says that if you don't vote Hillary, you're not a woman. However, this is not enough, and in the referendum, the Americans vote in favor of Donald Trump, who leads the Liberal Party. Clinton tries to get Trump removed from the ballot, claiming he used hush money to fund his campaign. As the election draws near, Clinton gets Trump thrown back in jail on July 4th, which is very bad timing for her. Riots break out, and he is quietly released soon after. The election results show that Trump has won, and he now implements his campaign. His promises are to end the Navajo War, make the American Federation respected again, end the disaster of communism, and end the exploitation of American workers by the red capitalists. The American communists, especially journalists, freak out and write endless hit pieces, accusing him of being everything from a Chinese agent to literally Hitler. Clinton had tried playing nice with the Navajo and had horribly incompetent generals leading his troops. A horrific school shooting happened in 2002, leaving nearly 135 children dead. It will later be discovered that the school shooter had been armed and trained by the Navajo. Trump will have none of this, and orders that the Navajo are destroyed no matter what the cost may be. The American Federation destroys nearly every Navajo settlement and will not relent until they completely surrender. Most territory was within control by 2003. Comparisons are made to Germany in World War II, and it is used as proof that Trump is a Nazi. However, the average American doesn't care since peace has been restored, and this is Trump's greatest achievement. He also sends Hillary to jail where she will stay for the time being. Economically, Trump quietly but efficiently ends any communist policies still in place, and while he has to still call himself a revolutionary to satisfy the Soviets, de facto he is not revolutionary whatsoever. He ends the practice of communal ownership, he ends religious restrictions, and he even makes a new version of the Bible, the DTV, commissioned to be the text taught in schools. KJV onlyists, though, are appalled at Trump's hijacking of the faith, and so most Baptists moved south to the CSA. Trump internationally is seen as a threat to communism. The American Federation is accused of being a reactionary state, and its reputation diminishes, but Trump is loved by his people. He mainly focuses on fixing the economy and, in a historic move, opens up the country's first stock exchange in 2008, leading to an economic boom. The only problem is that Trump has run out of terms, and so he chooses his close friend Barack Obama to succeed him as head of the party. Barack Obama is seen as a moderate, and he was a supporter of healing the racial divide in America. Check out the next and final episode on Micah History.